Oh, Shocktober's back. Well, let's take a look at what Arrow Video has in store for us this year. Okay, Arrow Video, their Shocktober sale returns. This is, I think, the second year that they have coined it Shocktober. Makes a lot more sense than Rocktober, if you ask me. And what's particularly interesting about this sale is it is the first sale that Arrow Video is having on their new United States webpage. We can now, if you're in the US, and I'm assuming Canada too, we can now purchase directly from their website. Oftentimes I was finding myself shopping through their own website in the UK, buying Region B titles and having them shipped over to me. But this is going to make things a lot easier, and I'm hoping that since they're going to be operating everything out of their own warehouse probably and with their own logistics, that titles will be cheaper. And already it says Blu-rays from $10, which is the lowest prices I feel like we've seen for an Arrow Video sale in the United States for a long time. So let's shop now. Let's take a look here. And we're starting off with $15 titles. I want to see price low to high. Okay, so we're priced low to high here, and
Okay.
that's a little misleading. There are literally 3 titles to choose from that are $10. It's the Battles Without Honor and Humanity films, and it's not even all 5 of them. It's the first one, the 4th one, and the 5th one. Not sure why they wouldn't include 2 and 3. I'll recommend these films. The one I'm circling here being the first one. My personal favorite is the second one, which isn't on sale here, but these are really cool. But anyway, that's a little bit misleading. I mean, they do have $10 titles, but like, not very many, only 3. And then the rest here are 15, which is
solid.
This is a solid price. It seems like the last few Arrow Video sales, the US prices at least have been like $20 per title, which is a little, I mean, it's not even that good of a deal considering how much you can get these for usually on Amazon. It really is, that was hardly a sale. So this is definitely a step up. It is most certainly an improvement. So what I'm going to do in this video is just roll through the list here and just throw out my blah 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 blah. I can't speak, my vocal cords were punctured. I am going to throw out some recommendations because I'm not going to participate in the sale personally, but I love Arrow Video and I can never talk enough about the films in their line. So
let's go.
As I'm scrolling through here, Southland Tales jumps out at me. I had never seen this film before, and it was the follow-up film for Richard Kelly, director of Donnie Darko. And I watched it when this Blu-ray came out. I got it when it was released, and it's a weird movie. I watched the theatrical cut, I think, not the like can cut of the film, the extended cut or whatever. I think I actually don't even remember. I watched the normal cut of the movie, and it was a lot to unpack. It's very flawed, but it's interesting. But you either love it or you hate it, or you maybe are like me and you're like, that was quite the experience. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. You could think anything. The spread for this film on Letterboxd is absolutely insane. So $15 though for any of these titles, I'd say is really like, these are good prices. These are solid prices. Street Mobster is a Kinji Fukasaku film that is super awesome. I think I've already talked about it before. I did another Arrow Video recommendations video for the Camp Arrow Video sale, and that video is just as relevant as it was then because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of overlap with the titles that are on sale. So if you want even more recommendations from me in a more structured format, you can check that video out up here or down in the description below. But I throw out some good recommendations in that video, including Street Mobster, I think. So go there if you want to hear me talk about that a little bit more in depth. The Hills Have Eyes. I would recommend not grabbing this, at least if you're someone who's going for 4Ks. This is coming out on 4K, I think in November or October, but I think November. And this film, I think, is really good. It's Wes Craven's second feature film, if I'm not mistaken, and it was actually pretty disturbing. It's not overly graphic, but just the situation and the actions committed by these people in the hills is it's just atrocious. It's a really good revenge movie too, because it does have a bit of a revenge arc in the second half, so I like The Hills Have Eyes quite a bit. The Cat o' Nine Tails and The Bird with the Crystal Plumage are both Dario Argento classics, both of which also just came to 4K, so if you aren't interested in grabbing 4Ks, then this is, these are good deals for the Blu-ray standard editions. Why are there two Bird with the Crystal Plumages? One is a Blu-ray. Let me go back to the second page.
Oh.
Looks like, okay, that's kind of weird. Was something added up here that I didn't see? Hold on, sorry, I have to go back. That's weird. It's like the sequence got a little out of whack. Maybe they're still working out the bugs on their website. Oh, is my gore falling down? This is supposed to be like my stab wound. It's just bloody toilet paper and it kind of fell off my neck. I feel stiff and disgusting right now. I feel like a stiff, which is technically what I'm supposed to be. Yeah, this is interesting. Like, this is the first time I've looked through a sale and, like, a website like this on camera, but have not started adding things to the cart and, like, know that I'm gonna buy things for myself. There are too many other sales. I just can't do it, but I wanted to give you all
some good recs.
The Suspicious Death of a Minor by Sergio Martino. This is a pretty nice... it's like well, he's a reporter. It's like a detective giallo film. It's not straight up giallo. There's a lot of like police work and detective work in it, and it's a really good one. I watched that one pretty recently. I think they just put it into one of their like giallo essential box sets, which is just like a box with 3 movies that are already released by Arrow Video that have been out for fucking eons, for years. It's just a cash grab, honestly. I'm not really a big fan of them doing that, but what do you do? Flowers in the Attic. I think I did watch this, and I hated it. I thought it was dog shit. Not full dog shit, but it was not very good. I thought it was pretty dull. Another thing I'm noticing is that, like, there aren't very many titles on each page, and there's only 9 pages, so I think what they're selecting for this sale, like the actual sale items, is a bit limited, it seems. That or things are just going out of print that I'm not aware of, but it seems like there really isn't too much being offered in this sale. But regardless, there's always something cool and something for everyone when it comes to Arrow Video. I really do love their catalog of films and the amount of effort and just the quality of their special features and the quantity is pretty astounding. House. This is kind of a weird film that I have the sequels now, but I haven't dug into them yet. These would probably be good to watch for Halloween. I might revisit House this October. That might be a really fun one. It's been a couple years since I watched this, but it's a goofy, fun time that has some like shades of Vietnam War trauma mixed in there. Yeah, something's definitely messed up because I went from page 4 to 5 and like a bunch of these followed over. I hope we're not missing anything. I'm gonna jump back to 4 for a second just to see. Yeah, because like Orgies of Ado wasn't on there yet. Tideland wasn't on there yet. Maybe there's something wrong with the way that I have this sorted. Sorry guys. Let's just sort by default, I guess. Hellraiser. If you have never seen Hellraiser, please check out Hellraiser. I know it's a horror classic, and if you're watching this video, chances are you've probably seen it or you're well aware of what it is. But when I first watched this movie as like a 13 or 14-year-old, I think I actually reviewed it on this channel a long time ago. I didn't like it, and I probably sound like a little shithead in that video, but it has grown on me so much over the years. I've probably rewatched it like 4 or 5 times, and I love the romanticism in it. I love the house and the tension and Uncle Frank. There's so much I love about Hellraiser. It's such a romantic horror film. It's really unlike most out there, so I implore you to get on Hellraiser if you haven't seen it before. Basket Case is enormously fun. It's such a hilarious movie. I love movies set in New York City. I love the angry New York stereotype, and there are tons of cranky neighbors in this movie. It's a blast. Basket Case is super good. The Stuff, I watched this pretty recently, and I think I actually did slightly review it on the channel because it was part of a Blu-ray haul. I don't remember. No, maybe I didn't review it. Regardless, it was, it didn't live up to what I wanted it to be. It just had a lot of jumping around locations, and it just felt, I don't know, it just wasn't that funny. I don't know. And it was kind of boring. Audition is flat out, like, one of my favorite movies. I mean, you could say I have so many films that I would consider like some of my favorites, but Audition would very easily make it into my top 100. Okay, I know that's kind of like an enormous number, but I've seen over 2,000 films in my life. Society is another really fun film. If you look, if by looking at the cover, you can tell if you're gonna like it or not. Deep Red, I have the new 4K coming in the mail, and I'm really excited to get that edition because I own this version of Deep Red, this standard edition Blu-ray, and it only includes the extended cut of the film. And I'm just gonna take this off now. I think the shtick is over, and I'm afraid it's gonna like fall on the carpet and like stain. But Deep Red, standard edition only includes the extended cut of the film. That's the only cut of the film I've seen. And my biggest gripe with Deep Red was that I was like, this is like really long, because that cut's over 2 hours, like it's 2 hours and 10 minutes or something, and it got boring. And I have heard several people now say in recent months that the theatrical cut of the film is better. And the new 4K release comes with that, so I'm excited to revisit Deep Red in its superior form in most people's eyes. So I guess I would steer you away from grabbing this edition of it, but I haven't even seen the theatrical cut yet, so I don't know how it pairs up. But I would say go for the 4K one instead, because you just get a bigger bang for your buck, I think. Don't Torture a Duckling. This is a great Lucio Fulci giallo. It's super dramatic, and I love the location, the setting, the townspeople. That's a really good one. The Crazies, I saw that for the first time recently, and I have to buy this film. I don't actually own this version. Lynn Lowry's in it. She's kind of a small part, but she's someone who, if she's in a film, I'm gonna notice immediately. And it's a George A. Romero film, and I would say it's superior to the remake. I had seen the remake and used to really like it as a younger kid, and I bet I could still watch it now and think it's fine. I don't know, I have like nostalgic memories with the remake of The Crazies. This film right here versus, oh wow, I totally didn't realize this was going to be part of the sale. I didn't even think of it being a possibility. This is a great film. I reviewed the Blu-ray release essentially on my channel. You can check that video out, but I love this film. It is a little long, so like my biggest complaint would be it does have a couple of slow, redundant moments, but it's a really fun film overall. It's like everything I want in a film, basically. The Female Prisoner Scorpion collection, I talked about this on my Camp Arrow video, recommendations video. Obviously, I would recommend it. I love these films so much. They are incredible classic 70s Japanese exploitation revenge films. Wolf Guy I watched really recently too, another 70s Japanese gem starring Sonny Chiba, who recently passed away. Chill Factor, I only like this because I'm from Minnesota and it was filmed in Wisconsin, so it felt like a Minnesota movie. Minnesota and Wisconsin, similar, obviously, states right next to each other. So I got out of I'm losing my voice. That's right, because I was stabbed in the windpipes. Chill Factor is a really shitty movie, but I personally got a kick out of it. So I would not recommend it to anybody unless you live in Minnesota or Wisconsin, so I doubt that's many of you. Evil Ed is weird. It's tonally, like, really self-aware and a little too on the nose, and it's also just, like, goofy and disturbing, but it references a lot of other horror movies throughout. It's about, he's like a film editor, and he just watches too many violent movies on, at work, because that's what he does. And in his personal life, he's like hates violence. It's one of those arcs, if you will. And he basically goes crazy and starts killing people. And it plays out really weird, and I like it, but it also felt so weird that I was uncomfortable by it in a weird way. I don't know. It's good, but I don't love it, but I do like it. Yeah, we're still getting duplicates here. Like, here's Tideland again, but what are you gonna do? I actually just watched Ringu for the first time in my life last week. I had seen the American remake a couple of times and always liked it, and this film was good. I wasn't particularly scared of it. I liked the cinematography a lot. I liked the mood, as I do with the Gore Verbinski film. It's far less blue than his film, or maybe it's just the Blu-ray I've always watched for The Ring, but that's a blue looking movie. It's like bluish green. This movie looks far more naturalistic, and I especially liked the videotape sequence. I thought that was probably the most disturbing, strangest part. The One Missed Call trilogy, $25. That's, oh, I didn't mean to click on it. We'll go back there. This is, I just watched the second film this year. I haven't seen the third one, and I watched the first one for the first time last Halloween, and that one's directed by Takashi Miike. And I thought it was pretty good when I watched it. Second one, I didn't like too much. It had less kills. It was more of like a... It was kind of like Ringu, honestly. It was like a reporter investigating the phone call deaths. But I thought it does a lot of, or a couple of flashbacks to the first film in the second one, and it reminded me of all the really great parts in that first film. There are some good kills in the first one, and in particular, the second act has this wonderful build up to this just extreme event that's being broadcasted on live television, and the pacing in that second act is so much fun in the first One Missed Call. And then I just remember the third act being like having a good conclusion, but just being really slow to wrap itself up, and it just was a lot of walking around in like an abandoned building for a while, so it got a little bit boring. And I haven't seen the third one yet, but I hear it's better than the second one in some ways, so I would recommend it. You get 3 films for $25. There are a ton of special features on here. The color grading on the second film in particular, I don't remember the Blu-ray, the first film, looked really good. And I think the first film, I'm already feeling like, thinking back, like,
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's got some great moments. This one here, the Bloodthirsty trilogy, I have not seen the third film yet, I don't think. I don't think I finished the trilogy, but I watched the first 2 some time ago, within the last, like, 2 years, and they're 70s Japanese Dracula tales, and they're okay. They're not incredibly memorable. I remember, like, little moments from them, but not much, and there really isn't too much for special features because these are very niche films that don't have like a whole lot of history behind them, or at least if they do, people don't know what that history is. This is okay. If you're on the fence about it, I don't know. I don't know if I should tell you to get it or not. It's very specialized. I'll leave it at that. Yeah, we're still getting duplicates. When I hit to the next page, I get like a lot of carryover from the previous page, so they better fix that for next time. Just kidding. Well, they should. Apprentice to Murder, this is a late 80s film starring Donald Sutherland, and it's set in the early 1900s, and he's a really religious man, but is he a Satanist worshiper? A Satanist? A Satan worshiper? I don't remember. The film, this cover is so amazing looking, but the movie blows. Like, I really did not like that movie. I thought it was so boring. And the last page is The Premonition, which I have, but I have not watched yet. So that's everything I guess they have on the sale on the US website. Not very much at all. Prices are good. $15 is a good sale price. I'm glad we're seeing that number again on these sales, but the selection here is nothing insane. Like, they don't even have like the Happiness of the Katakuris on here. At least I don't think they do. Let me see if that's on sale. Yeah, it's not even on sale. It's like flat out $28. It seems like there's a lot missing from the sale that should be there. I'm going to take a quick peek at their UK website just to see how many pages they have compared to this one. 31 pages. They have a lot more available on the UK website. That is for sure. They're offering up Giants and Toys here, but not in the US. I wonder why that is. That's a little sad. The Donnie Darko 4K, I don't know if that's really a good deal. It's hard for me to tell what exactly is a good deal when I'm looking at British pounds instead of US dollars. £8 for Climax, that sounds like a good deal. That'd be like $11 US. Man, maybe I should have gone through this one. Well, I'm not going to. I feel like I recommended enough stuff on the US website, but it's definitely, just so you all are aware, it looks like there's a lot more to choose from on their main website as opposed to their newer US website. I'm sure they don't have all their inventory in yet. I don't know. I'm making assumptions here. And damn, yeah, they didn't even, I don't think I even saw Pulse on sale on the US website. That kind of sucks. That's a great film. So that's a film that I actually think is pretty creepy. Like, it made me feel very unsettled and honestly a little bit like scared. So yeah, I'd recommend Pulse too. But anyway, I guess that's where I'm gonna stop. I hope that my mindless ramblings were of use to some of you, all of you, or just one of you. It doesn't matter to me. Well, it does. I want to be helpful. So if you enjoyed this video, if you like my recommendations and enjoyed my commentary, please go ahead and like this video so that more people can see it, and subscribe to the channel if you want to continue to see videos like this from myself and the channel. And that is pretty much everything. It's definitely everything I have for this video. I want to thank you all so much again for watching. I hope to see you again soon, and I will talk to you later.